Hey, 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 I am Anya. Hey, 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 I am Ari. Hey, 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 I am Mommy. Welcome to the third season of Cozy Womb Podcast, where we can all learn and grow into better parents, one explained experience at a time. Let's go! Wear this anymore because they don't like it. It was never my thing. So allow your child to be comfortable being different, and being different is okay, and let them know that. That way, when they're at school or when they're, somewhere there with their friends and maybe everybody is making fun of a kid, they can be the one to stand up and be like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Being different is cool. Like, if we're all the same, that's a boring world to live in. Make sure you're...
Here we go.
Back to the show. Hey, welcome back to Cozy Womb Podcast. This is season 3 of episode 17. We love you, but everybody won't like you. And this episode is all about teaching our kids how to bounce back from not being liked, not being wanted, and how do they maintain the self-confidence that will carry them through their childhood, into preteens, into teenagers, into young adults in their 20s, because that self-confidence is very important. There are a lot of children today struggling with having self-confidence, knowing their worth, being able to face challenges and not have a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of children struggling with bullying very young. I'm talking about first graders, second graders, third graders, middle school. Some don't even make it to high school because they either take their lives or try to take their life and die through the complications. All of these things are in front of our kids. Our kids endure this. Plus, the school bus. Plus, walking home from school, walking to school, the pressures of social media. I didn't have social media like this when I was in elementary or middle school or high school. My first cell phone, I didn't get that until I was 16. So we're just going to talk about ways that we can teach our children to love themselves, because I believe solely that the self-confidence, the self-worth, the knowing their value, the confidence to stand against anyone spewing their reflections onto your children. If we do these things, I feel like they'll be better equipped to stand against it. And I say that when people spew out hateful things, mean things, and when I say people, it could be grown-ups, it could be teenagers, it could be your boss, it could be big kids on the playground, it could be big kids at school, big kids at lunch, it could be younger kids, it could be kids the same age as your child. When children spew out their reflections onto other people, it's reflections of how they feel about themselves. It's hate that they feel towards themselves because they're getting it from somewhere else. It's like inner tunnel vision inside of a child, and because they can't handle it, they spew it out onto other people because it's a partial relief of, I don't want to carry all of this, so I'm going to put it on somebody else. So we're just going to talk about ways to teach our kids to love themselves, because I think that is the only thing that's going to cure a lot of the negativity that's going on right now on social media, and groups at school, on the school bus, after school, children just feeling really good about themselves. We need more of that, and that needs to be talked about. I'm tired of seeing child suicide rates climb. I'm tired of seeing children just not feeling good about themselves. And I feel like it's not that it's happening more and more and more now versus when I went to school. I feel like now, because social media is so prevalent and so quick and so fast about things, that it's just in our face faster, and just from all walks of life, from Europe, from North America, from South America, from East, West, like everywhere. Children are dealing with the bullying. Children are dealing with not feeling loved, not being able to face every day of people and other children trying to tear them down. So that is what this episode is about. Let's get into it. All right, so here are some ways that we can teach our children to love themselves. And we can do that by doing these things. The first thing you want to do is every day you need to compliment your child or your children if you have multiples, okay? Compliments that happen in the home happen outside the home. I'm going to say this again. Compliments that happen in the home happen outside the home. Your child needs to learn how to take a compliment. Your child needs to learn how to give a compliment. Your child needs to understand what a compliment is. There's a lot of adults walking this earth right now. A lot of women, a lot of men who do not know how to take a compliment without feeling like it's coming from a negative place or is coming from a place of sarcasm, or is coming from a place of hate. Okay? Teach your child how to give and take a compliment. The second thing you want to do is tell your children what you like about them. It could be their eyes, it could be the way they write, it could be the way they draw, it could be the way they play a game, play basketball, the way they observe things, how smart they are. Tell them what you like about them, okay? Third thing you want to do is spend quality time, with your kid. Not put them in front of a TV. I'm going to be in this room. Don't bother me. Not that. Like, actually flipping through a channel with them. Actually watching a movie with them. Talking about the movie. Reading a book. Talking about the book. Reading a magazine. Looking at the magazine. Look through pictures together. Old pictures. I don't know about you, but I know it's a digital world, but I love having like hard copy photos in the house. So sometimes Anya, she'll go through like the photo albums and we'll, talk about the pictures and everything. And Ari, she likes going through the photos and pointing out things. So do that. Next thing you want to do is tell your children that you love them. Tell them randomly. Step out of another room and walk up to your child and hug them. If you can't remember the last time you hug your kid, hug your kid. Tell them that you love them before they leave your house in the morning or before you drop them off at school. Tell them to have a good day. Remind them of things. Ask them if they feel okay. Ask them how their day was. In turn, they'll ask you. They'll learn how to reciprocate, because there are a lot of adults right now that don't know how to reciprocate. Next thing you want to do is talk to them during their struggles. And when I say this, I'm talking about talk to your children during their sad struggles so they can learn how to work out their emotions, how to talk through their emotions and not let that be bottled up. Talk to your kids through their learning struggles. If Anya's struggling on a word problem, I'll talk to her through the word problem. I'll tell her this is how you solve it. This is what you're looking for. And next time when you do it, this is how you set it up. If she's struggling with if she brings me a piece of her homework and she says, I don't know how to do this, I said, okay, let's go to the table. Read me the directions. So I let her read me the directions, and I stop her when the first direction is given, and I tell her, what did it tell you to do? And she'll repeat it to me, and then she'll do it. So the thing is, she didn't need my help. She needed to give herself time to think through the directions. And sometimes your kids just need help through their learning struggle. Teach your kids, what to do through their hurt feelings. Help them through their hurt feelings struggles, because when your children are hurt, most of them want results. Most of them want to physically do something about it. And if you don't teach your kids how to work through their hurt feelings at home, they're going to go out into the public, into schools, into stores, and blow up on people. And they're not going to know how to control their temper. They're not going to know how to talk to people respectfully. They're not going to know what's right and wrong, and what's the wrong way to do it, and what's the right way to do it. So if you don't teach them, the world is going to box them into a category of being an issue, of being a problem, of being, quote unquote, uncontrollable, and make decisions for their lives. So I don't want the outside world to make decisions for my children's lives. So I'm going to do the work with my child at home. And I think all parents need to do that work. The next thing you want to do is have laughs with your kids. Okay? Understand that laughing is an exercise for the mind, for the heart, for the stomach, for your abs. It's like the opposite of crying, but the same thing as crying, because you have to get something out of you. You have to pull up all your feelings and get something out. So teach your kids how to do that. The next thing you want to do is allow your children to think freely. Don't tell them that, that's not possible, or that's not real, or that doesn't sound good, or that doesn't look right. Let them create. Let them tell you things. Let them talk off the cuff. It's basically just whatever comes to your mind, talk about it. Just be free-spirited. Feel comfortable in here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I always tell Anya, some things you could talk to me about here that you can't talk to me about in the store. Or you can't talk to me about, when we're at a restaurant. Teach your kids a time and a place, okay? That is very important. And remember that your kids are a part of you, but they are not you, okay? They are individuals personalized to, make a life in a world that's better than when it was for you, hopefully. And when I say that, it's today our kids are so advanced. Their surroundings are very advanced. They feel overwhelmed, and so they want to get their hands on everything, and it's showing, okay? Tell your kids that being different is okay. If somebody says that, that's weird, it only means that that's different. I've never seen that before. I'm not sure about this. It looks different. I'm kind of curious about it, but I'm not sure. It's that being weird is okay. I tell Anya all the time, being weird is okay. I've been weird all my life because I like the things that I like. I've been left at home because my brothers did not want to go to the mall with me and certain things that I was wearing, but I never felt shame to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to wear this anymore because they don't like it. It was never my thing. So allow your child to be comfortable being different, and being different is okay. And let them know that. That way, when they're at school or when they're, somewhere with their friends and maybe everybody is making fun of a kid, they can be the one to stand up and be like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Being different is cool. Like, if we're all the same, that's a boring world to live in. Make sure your child knows that that's something good to stand up for. Next thing you want to do is tell your kids what you observe about them that they're great at. Not everybody sees their talents and finds their purpose. And sometimes if you as a parent point it out to your kids, they're going to be more focused on making that one thing better, or working on it, or being focused, being driven by it, because my mom said I'm really good at this, or my dad said he never knew how to do this, and I'm really, it comes to me pretty easy, so I'm going to, read about it more. I'm going to ask my teacher about it, and they're going to discover themselves a bit faster when you hone in on what it is that you see that they do consistently with the least amount of effort, because it comes at them naturally. Okay, look for those things. Also, I think it's very important for us to share with our kids our mistakes when we were their age, our embarrassments when we were their age. Tell them the things that you messed up on when you were young, or the things that they do. Oh, that's not a big deal, because I used to do this. And my hair looked like this, and my thumbs look. I used to suck my thumb from my youngest times, because my next oldest brother, he used to suck his thumb, and I used to suck my thumb up until I was I want to say 10. And my mom thought that she was going to have to get me braces. She put everything on my thumb for me to stop sucking my thumb. And I just was like, nope. Would wipe it off and still suck my thumb. And I'm just so happy I grew out of that. But listen, the smallest things that your children think is the end of the world, tell them your most embarrassing moments, so they know that, okay, if she thought this was embarrassing when she was my age, and now she's my mom, and now she has a house, and now she has a car, I think I'll be okay. It's just reassurance, okay? Give your kids that. Please embrace them and make them feel comfortable to be themselves. A lot of the children out here, I don't think they're comfortable being themselves. If we, sit on our phones and we scroll through Instagram and we scroll through Facebook, or they watch TV and they don't see kids that look like them. They don't see kids that live where they live. They don't see kids that talk like they talk. You have to be able to expose your kids to different cultures and different people, and explain to them that everybody looks different. And everybody does things a bit differently. We're similar in some ways, but we're different in others. Here's why. This is where, people like this live. This is what they do here. This is what they eat here. That language that they speak is called this. Like, expose them to that. You cannot teach a child to be their best selves in a box. You're going to have to teach them how to relax in the world, find a good vibe in the world, be able to have good judgment about people through, standards, through values, through what they're familiar with. All of that has to come from parents. All of that has to come from the home. Take trips. Don't go to the same place more than once. If you do go to the same place more than once, try to, switch up something. Maybe eat something different. Maybe go to a different area. Maybe do a different activity. Like, the internet is just full of ideas, full of options. YouTube is there. Maybe you want to spend Sunday YouTubing, different activities. Or if they've never been to a theme park, YouTube a theme park. Anya was 5 when I took her to Disney World by herself. Arya was not. She was at my mom's in Florida. I didn't take her. I just took Anya because having the both of them would be too much. But Listen, to take Disney World in Florida, it is not a one-parent job. And I don't even think it's a two-parent job, because it is exhausting. It is a lot of money. Everything is expensive. It's better to go in a large group, especially to have a person that's not with roller coasters, so somebody can watch the stuff. Somebody can watch the bags. The food is not exquisite, but you just have to have a plan, okay? Let me get back on track, but yeah, that's a whole thing in itself. Teach your kids that words aren't physical, but words mean things and they do hurt. So whether it's me, whether it's your dad, whether it's your brother or your sister, or your friend that was your friend yesterday, but today they said something mean to you, and you don't know if they're your friend anymore. Listen, people that know you are going to say mean things to you and nice things to you. People that don't know you are going to say mean or nice things to you. You have to know who you are in life to go ahead and bounce back from what anybody says. You're going to have to know who you are deep down inside, what you're capable of. If you did something in a good mind frame and a good spirit, if something you did was a mistake, if something you did was the wrong way, and just be willing to accept the fact that, you know what, that is your opinion, but I know this about me to be true. And parents, we cannot continue to live in our homes, think that just because we provide our children a bed, clothes, food, we know what school they go to, that we know everything about them. Please, get comfortable in your house with your child. Get comfortable in your house with your preteen. Get comfortable in your house with your teenager. Get comfortable in your house with your child that's in their 20s that think they're adults now, okay? Be comfortable, be respectful, knock, but no child is ever supposed to tell you what you can and you can't do in regards to the square footage in your home. If you don't know what their room looks like in the last 2 weeks, that's a problem. If you don't know what's under their bathroom cabinet in the last week, that's an issue. Or their closet, or the last time they did laundry, or do they know how to do laundry, or what's under their bed, or have you talked to their teacher? We have apps like Class Dojo now. Like, you can always be in discussion with their teacher, you know? There should never be a disconnect in your home on who your child is, okay? Always be aware of who their best friends are, or who comes in and out of your home, or what home they go to, who are those parents, you know. Always be able to have that open communication and that connection with your child. Do not live in your home giving birth to a child that you say you quote unquote take care of and live with a stranger. Do not set yourself up to live with a stranger. Please understand that kids get curious. Kids have friends that influence them, and kids make poor choices because that's what kids do. We are here to guide, we are here to love, and we are here to embrace them and let them know that, hey, okay, I understand what's going on, but this is the right way to do it. We have to teach our kids to respect others, but most importantly, teach our kids to respect themselves. This will definitely minimize bullying, depression, self-doubt, insecurities, and secrets with you as the parent. Okay? When I was growing up, I was the only girl of four of my mother's other children, which were boys, and then my dad had an oldest son, but I never really lived with him. I think I met him about 4 times, okay? And he has a sister, and I met her, I want to say about 5 different times. And maybe when I was younger, I met her more, but I don't remember. But for my mom, you know, after I was 8 years old, I primarily lived with my mom. Living in a house with boys and struggling to find what I really loved about myself as a kid. What was really good about who I was as a kid. What really mattered as a kid. It was kind of difficult, and then in many ways it wasn't. I don't feel like I was difficult. I appreciate times when I could play by myself, and I had friends, and sometimes I would go over their houses, but I remember myself, if I did go over or sleep over someone's house, wishing that I stayed home. And I think my mom knew that, I have a daughter, but she has friends, but she likes to be in her own space. Hence, now I'm 32 in the home with 2 of my kids, and I like to be in my own space. Rarely would I ever sleep over a friend's house. And if I do, I have to be very, 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 very comfortable. Rarely will I ever sleep over my brother's houses. Why? Because I just like to be in my own space. I don't know, like, your children, who they are as kids, will mold who they become as adults. And we have to love on our kids. We have to embrace them. We have to build their confidence. We have to be with them through life. And I'm not saying guard them. I'm not saying put them in a bubble, because they need to feel what the ground feels like sometimes. They need to feel what a good happiness feels like sometimes. But there always has to be some type of balance where they understand that sometimes they're going to be really good, sometimes they're going to be really bad. Some people are going to like you, some people are not going to like you. Some friends will stay around for a long time, some friends will be just temporary. And what does that mean for you? And does that change who you are? And does that change who you could possibly become? It doesn't. It doesn't. Is life. Life is always changing, whether you want to lay here and not do anything today, or you want to get up and you want to be social, or you want to get up and you just want to do the things that you want to do and be in your own world. But we have to teach our kids how to love themselves and still face every day and come home and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Because a lot of these children are not coming home. A lot of these children are waking up wishing that they didn't. A lot of these children are clueless on if their lives matter, and your children's lives matter. And please remind your children that their lives matter. And when you catch them in deep thought, and when you catch your child in a car, and when you catch your child just sitting in a chair in a daze with a sad face, ask them what they're thinking. Don't laugh at them. Don't chastise them. Don't yell at them. Let them have that window of opportunity to share. Because these kids are very observant. They feel things. They hear things. They see things. Okay? So just keep that open window and remind your kids that you love them, but everyone won't like them. And that is okay. And it's nothing to the world of opportunity to not be liked. Somebody is not going to like it. But there's going to be a lot of people who are here to love you and stand by you through everything about it. My name is Shan. Thank you for listening to Cozy Womb. Please hug and kiss on your kids. If you're an aunt or an uncle, please hug and kiss on your nephews and nieces. If you're a teacher, please embrace all the children in that classroom. I do not know how teachers do it today because it's a lot going on with these kids, but please, I appreciate all the teachers really doing it because they love it. And I know this education system isn't always set up for all children to succeed, even though they might say it, but it's not set up for that way. So, I don't know. Just continue to do your best. Do your best. Love your kids. Hold them. Speak love into them. Speak confidence into them. Speak good energy into them. And really, really, really dig in deep to who they are and what they're going through, because these kids are going through things and we just need to be there as they go through it. Thanks.